like to do is get into this other side, get this off, try to split this down the middle, and see if I can get a longer blade out of it, possibly a machete. I'm not worried about this top side. It's going to be a biatch to get into. But what I am worried about is how I'm going to split this down the side. That's going to suck. So what I might end up doing is basically chiseling it out with a piece of soft wood. Come down the center like that. I don't know. It's possible to go along this with a can opener. I don't know if you can do this with a standard can opener, but you can use your pocket knife and get through this. I know with a standard can opener, you're going to end up with a cut that's going to start to rip the rim right off. This bird beak is plowing through here. So it's a little hard on the wrist. You know, take a break for a second, get back to it. That way you don't like lock up, carpal tunnel. But yeah, you can get through it in just a little bit. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm pushing in with my palms, spreading this out, and I'm using friction to make this split. Okay, so I already got it squished down. I'm just pressing it together as hard as I can, pulling it out, pressing it in, pulling it out. It's easy to get a crease down the side of this. So that's the goal right now, and then I'm going to fold it up into a machete. So this was literally me taking both my hands, pressing my palms into the crease, and then pulling it out until it's split down the middle. Now I'm going to go fold this into a machete. My battery on my phone is trying to die on me, so it's being a pain in the ass. But I'm going to keep going on this. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fold this into a machete and keep the length as much as possible. I actually got a pretty long piece of metal to work with, so this is going to be great. I am going to use the bench grinder just because I can. So I know the philosophy behind this was incarceration builds, but I'm going to use modern tools. So instead of incarceration, we're going to go with gulag, Civil War, improvised weapons, basic tools. Initially, I started folding it up, and I couldn't record because my phone is on the back burner right now. It's taking forever to charge. It's actually at 19% right now, so it's not doing that good. But I actually folded it up as good as I could get it. I used friction to break it in half. But then I started getting like this narrow side and this wide side, and I had to really fight with it because I wanted that machete shape. So it's got more of a cutting blade surface. Now what I'm trying to do is get a point, and you can see where I folded there. I'm gonna have to fold here. I have no choice, dude. I have to use a set of pliers. So all I can say is I'm glad I'm not institutionalized. I never want to be, but this is a possible build for the civilian too, with limited tools. So we're just gonna go on that rabbit. This folded over with very simple tools was very difficult. Ended up using a screwdriver and pounding it in to get my fold, so I could fold this over on itself. So I had to start the initial fold line, and I'm in the laundry room, so I have one of my socks here, clean socks here, but I've been using this to grab the metal so I'm not cutting my hands up, because this is very sharp material. So now the difficult part is going to be, well, I got to get this to a point, but then I got to run an edge down it, and I am going to use the bench grinder. So our machete is basically done. I would like to do more to the handle, and I know that's not crazy for a cutting edge on a machete. I wish that I had more down here, but that's just how it ended up when I rolled the edge over. So far you can basically thrust with it and chop. What I'm trying to do is use friction to break this damn thing off because it's in my way. So we'll get it. Okay, so now that the friction break's done, I was able to refine the edge just a little bit using the ball peen hammer. Went along the spine, smacked it so it's a little flat. That way it fits in your hand without something really sharp digging in to your tendons and the meaty part of your hand. So it does fit just a little bit better. And I feel like I can possibly lop a zombie's head off with a can of corn. I think it's an agreement. Now, I'm going to take this out to the bench grinder though, and I am going to edge it up. I know the edge is misaligned, but it's a can. There's nothing I can do about that but hit it with the bench grinder. So, clean that up, clean this up. Handle's okay. Still got some weird edges that I want to try to fix. I might need to just wrap this or find a good place that I can hold for a sweet spot
right in here is giving me a little bit of a problem.
So I can stop here and I can do a machete, or I can fold this down at an angle and then do a tomahawk. This material is pretty nasty though. You're not leaving without black hands. You know, something like this. I can edge that up, or I can just go smack that out back into its original form and do the machete. So that could be like a little tomahawk thing. Okay, so we got our basic handle. Try to run a bevel. Even did the tonto point a little bit. Obvious delamination, still very sharp. So, post-apocalyptic weapon, maybe. Delamination is not good, where the edge begins to come apart. Now, ideally, what I'd like to do is just split this in half, roll with it, but then I'm losing structure. So, it's going to stay together for that reason. But yeah, machete, dagger, number 10 can.